And you know why it's so hard for me to return back to Christianity after going through a spiritual awakening and spiritual psychosis and mania is because I realized that hell is a state of mind. Hell is insanity. Hell is not fire. That is a lie. Hell is not fire. Hell is you losing your fucking mind. I had to lose my mind to learn how powerful, how amazing, how ungrateful I was. I was taking advantage of my brain, my mind. After you lose your mind, after you go to hell, you're like, holy shit. Not only you go to hell, but you come out of it. You come out of it and you're like, holy shit, this is hell. Like I was in hell, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get, bitch, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Hell is a state of mind. Hell is not fire. Although losing your mind, you're gonna feel like you on fire, bitch. Like, hey, I cannot explain to you. And it's so funny because while I was in it and when I came out of it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what that is. It just felt like, how did I not, like, it's like I knew it. Like, it's like I've experienced it or I kind of had an idea, but then it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I can see that now. Going mad, losing your mind, that is hell. So excuse me if I can't really buy into Christianity anymore after going through that. Yeah, hell is real. Absolutely. But the way they described it is a lie. What hell is a lie. Because I've made videos like talking about this plenty of times. If you are in hell for eternity, right? Obviously at first it's fiery, it's hot, you're burning, right? You will feel it. But after a while, what happens? You get used to that shit. You get used to it. You adapt. You're like, okay, at this point, it's like, oh, you stop screaming. One day you just randomly stop screaming. Like, oh, okay, like, I'm in hell, I guess. But losing your mind, bitch, that shit felt like it was never ending. Never ending. So yeah, I'm sorry if I've been to hell. So this whole Christianity thing is a little hard for me to just reintegrate, bitch, because it wasn't fucking church that got my sanity back. It was me sitting down in front of a Buddha statue and my senses came back. Silence, no thoughts. I was literally tripping off shrooms, bitch. I lost it, went to hell, didn't think I was coming back. I bought a Buddha statue like 2 weeks prior or so before I took that psychedelic because I was trying to figure things out. I went back upstairs because I need to calm down. I sat in front of my Buddha statue. I just looked at it. No thoughts. Nope. And then that's how I ended up getting a tattoo of Buddha. That's why I have a Buddha, a picture of Buddha that says, let that shit go. Because I remember that. I'm not saying Jesus couldn't have done the same thing, a statue of Jesus or a Jesus piece, but that's not what I had. I had a thing of a Buddha that people say, oh, it's demonic or Buddha is the X, Y, and Z. That was the only thing that calmed me down. That was the only thing that brought me out of that shit. So excuse fucking me, bitch, if I just can't unsee what I saw. And just to add on top of that, you won't die and then go to hell, bitch. You can go to hell right fucking now. You can go to hell and you can go to heaven right fucking now. You are deciding that shit every day you wake up, whether you want to be in hell or heaven. Why are you waiting until you die? That shit can happen now. Okay, like, please, bitch, please. And that's why I try to stay out of this whole argument and debate about Christianity and atheists. Like, people are trying to deconstruct it, and then there are people saying that people who are deconstructing it are wrong. It's just back and forth. I try to stay out of it because it's like I'm still battling with deconstructing it myself. But when I remember things like that, it makes it hard because it's like I remember where I was in that moment when I was in hell. I remember that. But then I also remember when I had a dream about Jesus. Believe me or not, you could believe me or not, bitch, I was gagged. And it was me and Jesus. We were in the middle of my street and we were looking at each other. And there were no words. Jesus didn't say nothing to me. We were in silence. And it was like I was a reflection. It made me feel like he was with me, like we see each other type of thing. But it was peaceful, me and Jesus in the street. Nothing, no words were said. And Jesus wasn't white. Jesus was like a Middle Eastern man. Like, it was just like, it it's very confusing till now, because sometimes I'm like, I'm deconstructing, but I'm like, okay, was Jesus real? But I don't mind believing in Jesus. You know why? Because I don't mind believing in the supernatural. I don't mind believing in unicorns. I don't mind believing in dinosaurs. I don't mind believing in dragons, because somehow, some way, I believe there is multiple dimensions, multiple realities, different realities, and there's space for all of this shit to have existed. There's space for all of it, because ideas come from somewhere, right? So to me, I'm like, it takes nothing to believe in Jesus. That's how I see it. If I choose to believe in Jesus, good for me. If I don't believe in Jesus, that's totally fine. But it's like, it takes nothing to believe in Jesus. That's why I'm like, okay, I'll keep an open mind and really try to believe. But I also don't believe that Jesus wants to be worshiped, because if I performed the miracles that Jesus performed, I wouldn't want to be worshiped, because I'm such a humble person. I'm doing this because I want to set you free, not because I want a pat on the back. Sure, the pat on the back and the worship is going to come regardless, because you guys are grateful. You guys are understanding. You guys know, like, that's just how it works. But I'm not asking for it. If you want to worship me, I'm going to let you know, hey, I don't really need this, but if that's what you want to do, go for it. But it's like, don't just go live your life. Just be free. Don't be worshiping me or live your life around me. That's how I would be if I was Jesus. So that's why it's like, yeah, I'm a believe in Jesus, and I see Jesus as a cool, understanding, like a big brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus is just cool. That's how I see Jesus. I don't see Jesus as judgmental. I don't see Jesus as like someone who's going to send you to hell. That's not how I see Jesus. I see Jesus as chill. Like, even if you offend him, even if you do, like, I don't give a fuck, you're just a loser. Like, like, I don't even think Jesus would say that. I was just like, whatever. Like, I have too much, that's how I see Jesus. I don't see Jesus as someone who wants to be worshiped. That's not humble. That's not the way you guys describe. I think Jesus is a very humble person. He's just doing what he feels like he needs to do, his mission, so it's a lot. And I try to stay out of this conversation, but it's such a very, I like interesting conversations. I like things that make me think, that use my brain and intellect and stuff like that. And this is just one of those conversations. Like, it's hard because I want to be a Christian, because I see like family members, and I see like people that I know, especially like Africans, my community. I feel like it would be hard for me to be friends with a group of Africans my age, because they're still very much into that. They're very much into, but it's just, and that's not, I'm not saying I can't be friends with them, but it's like, how would they look at me? Are you going to look at me like I'm a devil? Because I'm not a Christian. I don't see the things that, I don't see it the way you guys see it anymore. I don't know, but it does make it hard, because I'm just not there anymore. And I try, I think I have a hard time deconstructing it, because I was a Christian for so long, and I'm jealous of people who just wake up one day and they're just like, you know what? It's not my thing. I don't really, because it's been taking me a lot of work. I still hear Bible quotes in my head, and I don't mind that, because I feel like a lot of Bible quotes that I have, they're very helpful. So I think it's like a matter of me putting both of them together, using what I've learned, and then using spirituality, and just like figuring out what works for me, learning how to do that. I still think about buying a Bible sometimes and just like reading it, because I want to see what's cooking. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really need to do that. We'll see. I'm still young. I can still wake up 5 years from now and be like, I'll buy the Bible and just read it. Not because I want to be a Christian, but I just want to see what stories and understand it better, understand it better. So yeah, I'm tired of rambling. This video was not supposed to be that long. It was supposed to be quick and short, and just say like, hell is a state of mind. Hell is right. Hell can be right here and right now. Heaven could be right here and right now. Why you got to wait to just live? Why would I create an earth and then like have you guys not enjoy it, or like have another place that you guys can come enjoy after this? No, I enjoy what you have. Make the best of it. Make me happy. Like, I want to see you guys having a good time. See you guys turning up. Live your best life. That's why I feel like the biggest thing you could be is not live your truth, not live your authentic self. Because if I created you to be gay and you trying to be straight, you're going to piss me off, because why are you living like that? Fine. If you choose not to come out the closet and you want to pretend to be someone you're not, fine. But then it becomes an issue when now you're hating on other people, and then you're judging other people, giving other people a hard time. That is when you would have me fucked up. Because why are you doing that? I understand if you're not ready, but why are you disturbing other people? I really want to understand God better, because that's who I want. I want to focus on understanding God, knowing God. I feel like if I know God, then I'll understand Jesus, not the other way around. I'm gonna just go straight to the source, because Jesus went to the source. Jesus said, go to the source. I'm just the son of the source, just like you.